In an automotive industry obsessed with electrification, turbocharging, and increasingly complex powertrains, one engine continues to earn respect through an entirely different philosophy: Ford's 7.3-liter Godzilla V8. Since its introduction in the 2020 Super Duty lineup, the Godzilla has rapidly established itself as one of the most respected gasoline truck engines of the modern era, not because it produces record-breaking horsepower, but because it consistently delivers exactly what heavy-duty truck owners demand: relentless reliability, effortless low-end torque, mechanical simplicity, and exceptional durability. As anticipation grows around the 2027 Ford Super Duty, one question continues to dominate discussions among contractors, fleet operators, RV owners, and enthusiasts alike. Has Ford fundamentally upgraded the Godzilla? Based on every official announcement currently available, the answer is remarkably simple: no. And that may be the engine's greatest strength. Engineering that didn't need reinvention. The most successful engines rarely require radical redesigns. Instead, they evolve through refinement. The Godzilla perfectly embodies this philosophy. For 2027, Ford has announced no significant mechanical overhaul, no new architecture, and no dramatic increase in output. At its core, the engine remains exactly what made it successful from day one: a naturally aspirated cam-in-block overhead valve V8 engineered specifically for sustained heavy-duty operation. While many manufacturers continue moving towards smaller turbocharged engines, Ford deliberately chose a different path. Because physics still matters. Large displacement naturally produces torque. And in a truck designed to pull massive trailers across mountain grades for hundreds of thousands of miles, torque, not peak horsepower, is what truly gets the job done. Why Ford chose push rods instead of complexity. To some enthusiasts, a pushrod engine might seem like a technological relic. In reality, it's an engineering decision rooted in purpose. Compared with dual overhead cam designs, an overhead valve architecture offers several advantages for heavy-duty trucks. The engine is physically more compact, allowing easier packaging beneath the Super Duty's hood. Its long-stroke design naturally generates substantial torque at lower engine speeds. Fewer moving components reduce mechanical complexity, and a simpler valve train often translates into lower long-term maintenance costs. Rather than chasing engineering trends, Ford optimized the engine for its intended mission: maximum reliability under maximum load. That mission remains unchanged in 2027. The architecture that earned its reputation. The Godzilla's reputation wasn't built through advertising. It was built through engineering. Its foundation remains exceptionally robust. The engine continues to utilize a deep-skirt cast-iron engine block, aluminum cylinder heads, a forged steel crankshaft, cross-bolted main bearing caps, variable valve timing, sequential multi-port fuel injection. These aren't outdated components. They're carefully selected solutions designed to survive years of towing, commercial service, agricultural work, and high-mileage operation. Ford has announced no changes to these core elements for 2027, a clear indication of confidence in the original design. Power figures that matter. Less than you think, online speculation often focuses on one number: horsepower. Yet heavy-duty truck buyers understand that peak horsepower tells only part of the story. Currently, the Godzilla produces approximately 430 horsepower and 485 pound-feet of torque. While output may vary slightly depending on configuration and emissions certification, Ford has announced no substantial increase for the 2027 model year. Why? Because usable power is more valuable than impressive specifications. An engine that delivers broad, predictable torque throughout the RPM range often performs better in real-world towing than one designed simply to achieve higher peak numbers. Ford appears to recognize this distinction: refinement instead of reinvention. Although no major hardware revisions have been confirmed, that doesn't mean development has stopped. Every production engine evolves continuously. Manufacturing tolerances improve, quality control procedures become more precise. Software calibration becomes increasingly sophisticated. Transmission logic is refined. Emissions strategies become more efficient. These incremental improvements often produce smoother operation, better drivability, and enhanced reliability without changing the engine's fundamental architecture. As of now, however, Ford has not identified any 2027 exclusive engineering revisions. Claims suggesting extensive mechanical upgrades remain unsupported by official documentation. The unsung hero: Ford's 10-speed transmission. One reason the Godzilla performs so effectively lies beyond the engine itself. Its partnership with Ford's heavy-duty torque-shift 10-speed automatic transmission. The transmission's wide ratio spread keeps the engine operating within its ideal torque band regardless of driving conditions. Whether towing a 20,000-pound trailer, climbing steep grades, accelerating with a full payload, or cruising comfortably on the highway, the transmission continuously optimizes engine performance. Over multiple model years, Ford has refined shift programming to improve responsiveness and smoothness, contributing significantly to the Super Duty's overall driving experience. Why simplicity still wins? The automotive industry increasingly equates progress with complexity. Turbochargers, direct injection, hybrid systems, cylinder deactivation, multiple electric motors. Yet complexity isn't always synonymous with superiority. The Godzilla intentionally avoids many of these technologies. Its naturally aspirated design eliminates turbochargers. Its sequential multi-port fuel injection avoids many of the long-term carbon accumulation issues associated with direct injection. Fewer components generally mean fewer potential failure points. For commercial operators measuring ownership in decades rather than years, that simplicity has measurable value. Reliability isn't exciting until you depend on it. A platform that outgrew the factory. The Godzilla's influence extends far beyond Ford dealerships. Its exceptional bottom-end strength and generous displacement have transformed it into one of the aftermarket's most desirable modern V8 platforms. Today, enthusiasts have installed the engine into classic pickups, vintage muscle cars, off-road race trucks, drag racing projects, rock crawlers, and countless custom builds. An extensive aftermarket ecosystem now offers performance camshafts, high-flow intake manifolds, supercharger systems, forged rotating assemblies, cylinder head upgrades, standalone engine management, professional ECU calibration. The engine's adaptability speaks volumes about the strength of its original engineering. Separating fact from internet speculation. Every new model year generates rumors. The 2027 Super Duty is no exception. Despite widespread online speculation, Ford has not announced a redesigned engine block, dual overhead cam cylinder heads, factory turbocharging, hybrid assistance, cylinder deactivation, increased displacement, and all-new replacement for the Godzilla. Until Ford publishes official technical specifications, such claims remain speculation, not fact. Why the Godzilla continues to matter. Powertrain engineers often emphasize a principle that's easily overlooked. A great truck engine isn't judged by its dyno sheet. It's judged by what happens after 250,000 miles. Can it tow every weekend? Can it idle for hours on job sites? Can it survive extreme temperatures? Can it remain dependable long after warranties expire? These are the metrics that define heavy-duty engineering. The Godzilla was designed around those priorities from the very beginning, and that philosophy appears unchanged for 2027. Final verdict. Based on every official source currently available, the 2027 Ford 7.3-liter Godzilla V8 represents evolution, not revolution. Ford has introduced no major redesign, no radical technological shift, and no significant increase in output. Instead, the company continues refining an engine that has already proven itself under some of the harshest real-world conditions imaginable. In an era where many manufacturers pursue increasingly complicated solutions, Ford has taken a different approach. If an engineering formula consistently delivers outstanding reliability, exceptional durability, and predictable performance, don't reinvent it. Perfect it. And perhaps that's the greatest achievement of the Godzilla V8. Not that it changed the heavy-duty truck market, but that it proved old-school engineering, when executed at the highest level, still has a place in the future of American trucks.